On that note, we're shifting focus away from the aftermath of the tragedy in Hong Kong towards what's happening in Sri Lanka. We're now learning that Sri Lanka has issued an urgent appeal for international assistance as Cyclone Ditwah is wreaking havoc across the island nation, leaving 123 people dead and 130 missing. Heavy rains and flooding have destroyed nearly 15,000 homes, forcing over 44,000 residents into temporary shelters. Authorities have deployed thousands of Army, Navy and Air Force personnel to aid relief operations, while landslides have blocked roads and severed communication lines in remote areas. The Killarney River has burst its banks as well, prompting mass evacuations. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Harini Amarasuriya has met with foreign diplomats to coordinate support. We're also learning that India has sent two plane loads of relief supplies, has pledged further assistance as well. Meanwhile, officials in Sri Lanka have warned that the disaster's toll could in fact surpass previous flooding events, including the deadly 2016 floods. Recovery efforts are continuing, but there are fears of more rain, especially in the northern regions, leaving thousands in urgent need of aid. With us on the broadcast is Dr. Vinya Ariyaratne, President of the Sarvodaya Shramdan Movement, joining us from Colombo. Thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to us on NewsX World. At the outset, I hope your family, your loved ones, your friends, you're all safe. I wanted to, at the outset, understand the impact in Sri Lanka as far as this particular cyclone is concerned. We're getting some rather tragic news that 123 people have lost their lives, 130 are missing, more than 44,000 people have been evacuated as well. In fact, despite the fact that, authorities have deployed the armed forces on the ground, rescue operations are also taking place. What's the situation right now?
Yes, thank you. So actually our immediate loved ones are safe, but I represent an organization which is the largest humanitarian organization in Sri Lanka, development organization also, Sarvodaya Shramdan Movement. So right now the figures that you quoted have now being exceeded. I think our estimate is that the number of deaths have almost reached 200, and more than 200 people are still missing, and the number of families who have been affected surpass 100,000. So right now more than 360,000 individuals, Sri Lankan citizens, are affected by this disaster. So as you mentioned, this is a disaster that happened after 2016 when we had a major flood. The uniqueness of this particular disaster is that it affected the entire country. Earlier, this type of hydrometeorological disasters, floods and landslides affected only certain districts. But here, all 25 districts in Sri Lanka have been affected. And also the cyclone, I mean, before the cyclone, we had heavy rain, and that also caused havoc. And with the cyclone, we now have the danger of, in addition to the damage already done, we have to get the people evacuated from the Kalani River that you mentioned, those who are living close to the Kalani River, because the river level is rising significantly, and that level of rise of water levels have not been seen in any time of the history of Sri Lanka. So it has had a tremendous impact, and we are providing emergency services. Government is leading in this effort, particularly search and rescue, and also running centers for the displaced population, which now is more than 300,000. So we provide the essential immediate services such as cooked food and also hygiene items, and providing water supply, and many organizations, including, of course, the government is taking the lead with all its entire government machinery being mobilized, including the security forces. And we as non-governmental organizations, humanitarian organizations, we are on the ground responding to the situation.
Indeed, you have mentioned that you're on the ground. I wanted to understand what sort of hurdles are you facing, because we're getting these visuals, not just flooding, landslides have taken place as well. We can see some of the communication towers and the lines have fallen down as well, severing connection, especially in remote areas. So I wanted to understand what sort of hurdles, challenges are being faced at the moment, and what
Yes.
are the
So
immediate
yeah.
priorities to address this?
Yes, the main challenge is accessibility,
Hmm.
because as you said, in the central part of the country and also in certain other areas in the southern part of Sri Lanka, landslides are taking place, and then that blocks the road access even, and also the communication. We never had a problem of communication during previous disasters, including during the tsunami, which was the most severe disaster we faced. So connectivity is a problem, and even for the government security forces to go and reach the people who are trapped, they can't contact them, and because of the high wind, sometimes even the air force is unable to go, so it has to be always through boats, and the navy has been mobilized. So there are many places still we don't know what is really happening, and government also is trying its best to restore communication, and also the people who are also in the same area have been affected in different ways. For example, the housing destruction is massive, and also even though the flood levels are residing in some areas, it's not safe for people to go back. So those are the challenges that we are facing, but mainly it's connectivity, communication, and also being unable to reach the people. Even we have resources, so the Indian government has kindly offered, and we have a rescue team also now who have come to help our government.
And last but not the least, I do want to understand what is your appeal to the world, to the audience that is watching us.
So basically, I think there's any assistance that those of you who are watching this, particularly the governments, development agencies, if they can provide assistance through the government or through non-governmental organizations at this very difficult emergency phase, then the impact on the economy and the livelihoods of people is also very significant.
Hmm.
So we probably need assistance for recovery as well. So, and even if you can't provide any material assistance, we would like you to be in solidarity. uh, Pray for the people who are affected, their healing, and that spiritual energy can also affect us positively.
All right, so with that, I'd like to thank you and, of course, wish you luck for the relief efforts that are taking place. Of course, a terrible tragedy, and, of course, wishing strength to the people of Sri Lanka to overcome this crisis. On that note, viewers, we're shifting focus away from Sri Lanka towards news coming in from the United States.